Good morning, everybody, and welcome. And then there was one, the last football game of the season, and it's a big one. For over 100 years, these two teams, English and Classical, have been doing battle, and we're doing it again. Classical comes in at 4-6. English comes in at 5-4, and English on the verge. I don't think anybody in America would have thought that English could get a winning record this year. They lost their first 4 games. They're now on a 5-game win streak. If they win today, they'll finish 6-4. You could have made a few bucks if you bet on them in Vegas that they'd have a winning season. They would have been great odds. We're going to look at the Lynn City Marching Band, who do an outstanding job, as do the cheerleaders and the football players and the coaches. It's a big day here, and we've got a pretty good crowd, and there'll be more coming in, I'm sure. We're finishing up a big weekend here. St. Mary's beat Austin Prep. Kip in the battle of the two Lynn schools, the first battle of the two Lynn schools. Kip defeated Lynn Tech, and now it's English and Classical doing battle. And welcome and happy Thanksgiving to you watching this live on YouTube. And all of those of you who are watching it later on Channel 15. It's been a big year. We've got through it. We've got all the teams played all their games. There was nothing called off because of the virus. Track, volleyball, soccer, football, school going full time. Even though they're wearing masks, that's the least of our problems. And it's been a good year for everybody, and we hope it continues and hope it gets even better as we move along and maybe hopefully somehow get back to somewhat normal circumstances. As right after this being Thanksgiving morning, Thursday, on Monday, practice will start for basketball and hockey and the other sports. So a bright day, blue skies. It warmed up a bit. It was ice cold here last night for the games, but we had a good crowd on both sides, and we got a good crowd on both sides here this morning, and it's warmed up a little bit, so it's bearable as we get the captains out. And as we go along, I'll try to mention all the seniors who are playing their last game for these two schools, and they've done an outstanding job, working hard, putting time, effort, and energy, representing their families, themselves, their schools, their city. I get to know most of these young men and women in all these sports, and they really do an outstanding job. We got some great young men, women, as do all the communities. So we're wishing everybody a happy Thanksgiving. We're getting ready for the Lynn Marching Band to kick us off with the anthem, and we'll get back to Lynn English and Lynn Classical. They turned over 100 a couple of years ago. This is a little bit different than the last English Classical game. People were sitting in the stands in shorts and T-shirts because it was about 75 degrees. They were playing in midsummer because the league carried through April and May, and it was a lot warmer the last English Classical game.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now ask that you please all rise and remove
Oh,
your caps.
the fans will rise, the band will play the anthem, and we'll get ready for football here at Manning Field. Nowhere near as many, it's like a big E and a C all the way across the field. Now there's only about 20 people, but they do a great job. So the anthem and into football. sure of that. These two teams know each other extremely well. A lot of these young men play against each other in other sports, maybe several sports. They've known each other growing up through Little League and Babe Ruth, Pop Warner. Their families. It used to be East Lynn against West Lynn, but now it's just one city, so they could be neighbors. So they know each other well. And if you're going to win a game during the season, if you only win one, and you want to win more than that, obviously, but if you're only going to win one, this is the one you want to win because this is the bragging rights. Years from now, when they come back to watch other English classical games, it'll be, remember our game? Remember we beat you? English will kick it off. Classical will get the football first. Jay Palmer will do the honors for the Bulldogs. The Rams in their normal green and gold, English in their maroon. Easy to pick them out.
Number 3, Marquise Avery, and number 6, Darren Omarigi, back deep for the Rams.
So Palmer will get his foot into it, and we'll be underway here at Manning Field. They kick a little ground ball, field it at the 34-yard line, getting across the 35. And we already got a little pushing and shoving.
Kick was fielded by number 26, Nick Costa, at his 29-yard line.
Nick Costa gets it across to the 35.
And number 22, Kevin Pena.
Mackenzie Charles, in his first year as head coach, he's been around a while, did a great job with the girls' basketball team, and he was also on assistant at Tech and an assistant at English. Now he's the head coach at English. Brian Vaughan, former outstanding. It's a little mix up for Brian. Brian played this game, but he played on the other side. He played for English. Now he's the head coach at Classical, doing a very good job. And his son, Brian, is the quarterback. 4 wideouts, 3 to the near side. They throw it out. It got caught by Durant for about a yard. He had to bend down and make the one-handed grab.
Brian Vaughn's pass complete to number 4, Kyle Durant. Stopped by number 15, Alex Silla. There is a flag on the play.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against English. They gave him 2 yards on the pass.
The flag is an unsportsmanlike conduct on the Bulldogs.
And they'll march it
After the penalty is marched off, it will be first.
to the English 48-yard line.
48.
So the first down comes up by way of penalty. And Classical will have it in the English end. They keep everybody in tight. They run it straight ahead. And again, pushing, shoving, banging. Marquise Avery with the carry.
Number 3, Marquise Avery up the middle for the Rams. Momentum stopped by number 1, Edwin Castro.
They give him 6.
Wesley Chandler.
It'll be 2nd down and 4.
Gain of 6 on the play. It will be 2nd and 4. Ball at the Bulldog 42.
Again, everybody in tight. They snap it quick. They drop the ball. Vaughn wasn't ready for the snap. And we got a flag coming in on the play again.
And Vaughn is sacked for a big loss by number 2, Wesley Chandler.
Vaughn wasn't ready for the snap. He dropped the ball, went back to get it, and he got leveled. And the flag was for Classical coming out, pushing too far the sideline, out onto the field, giving him a warning, telling him to stay off the field. They're talking to Coach Vaughn now. They put it back at midfield. They lost 8 on the play. Third and 12. That's a tough play for Classical. Vaughn wasn't ready for the snap. They were lucky they didn't lose the ball. They give it to Avery. He gets loose. He breaks a tackle. He's going to get a first down. Looked like they had him off the right side. All of a sudden he got loose and broke it to the far side. And he gets it all the way down. 20 yards on the play. He had it, almost lost his balance, got back up, and gets it to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Rams. They overcome. Avery again into the middle of the pack. He picked up 4 or 5 more.
Once again, it's Marquise Avery on the
He got 5.
Gain of 5 on the play. It will be 2nd and 5.
There's a little bit of a difference. Avery was a wide receiver. He wasn't running the ball that much. They put him in the backfield as the running back. Vaughn with the keep. Gets stacked up as he gets 2 or 3.
Number 2, Brian Vaughn on the carry.
They give him 2.
And number 14, Tyler Kearns.
Obviously 4 down territory here. It'll be 3rd down
Gain of 2 on the
and
play.
3.
3rd and 3. Ball is at the Lynn English 23.
Avery off the right side. He's got enough for a first down and a little bit more.
Marquise Avery on the first down carry for the Rams.
Down to the 16. He picked up 7.
McDonald. It will be 1st and 10 for Lynn Classical. Ball at the Lynn English 11.
They announced at the 11. The ball's
Lynn English 16-yard line.
at the 16-yard line. They just corrected it. I can give him credit for that. He changed it, but Mr. Brum is doing this for the first time in a long time. Avery breaks another tackle, staying on his feet, running hard. Gets it down near the 10. Hard running by Marquise Avery. They put it at the 10.
5-yard carry for Marquise Avery.
Now they're going to put it at the 11.
By number 4, Josh McDonald, and number 22, Kevin Pena.
So he picked up 5 more. 2nd and 5. That offensive line doing a job. Vaughn with the keep. Inside the 10. And we got all kinds of problems going on away from the ball. They throw a flag. That was 20 yards away from the ball over the far sideline. 2 players getting into it. They call it both ways, so it wipes out. They put the ball to 10 for a yard. It'll be 3rd and 4. So that was like, get in the game. We don't need that. This is a football game. They were wrestling and fighting and throwing each other down. 20 yards away from the play out in the boondocks. Nowhere near anything. Avery straight ahead. Gets down near the 5. He looks like he's got a first down. First and goal for the Rams. They're eating up yards and eating up the clock.
Stop by number 1, Edwin Castro. It will be first and goal for the Rams. Ball at the Bulldog 5.
At the 5. They didn't give it to him. Classical signaling touchdown, but they're going to put it at the 1. Second and goal from the 1.
Avery down to the 1-yard line.
This will be the 12th play of the drive coming up.
Classical.
They've used up half the period. Avery dives in for the touchdown. He deserved that one.
And number 3, Marquise Avery takes it that 1 yard over the top for a Lynn Classical touchdown. 1-yard touchdown carry. Number 3, Marquise Avery.
65 yards in 12 plays, aided by that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. And just like that, it's 6-0. Used up over half the period. And Kyle Durant will try to make it 70. The kick is blocked. "53 yards picked up by Avery on that drive. So they picked up 50 yards of offense. Now there was a penalty on the play, so they get a second chance. There's a flag at the end of the play. We're already setting records for yellow handkerchiefs. Avery ran in the conversion. So there's a penalty on the block kick.
Point conversion is good. The score with 5:21 to go in the first quarter is now Lynn Classical 8, Lynn English 0.
So it's 8-0. And there was a penalty at the end of the play in the end zone. So Classical might be kicking off from the 25. We're already setting records. Yeah, they're going to kick off from the 25. So a lot of extracurricular activity already, and we've only played half a period. And with that bright sunshine, it's virtually impossible to read the clock. So from the 25-yard line.
Number 1, Edwin Castro, and number 2, Wesley Chandler back deep for the Bulldogs.
Durant will kick it off.
Kicking off for the Rams.
They kick a ground ball. It bounces off. And they blow the whistle. There's a flag on the play. Again. They're going to call Classical offside. I was wondering why the English player didn't bother to go get the football. Now they're going to be kicking off from the 20-yard line. So the front part, up front line for English is at the 30-yard line of Classical. The deep men are at their own 40. They get it up at the 40, at the 38-yard line. Castro turns the corner and gets out of bounds in Classical territory. A nice return. And English will have very good field position to start their drive. At the classical 44.
Take it to the Rams 44-yard line, where he's pushed out of bounds by number 5, Jay Fessler, the number 82.
18-yard return by Castro gets it to the 44-yard line.
Lynn English from the Ram 44.
Bags, the quarterback. To give to Chandler. He's their ace. More often than not, he goes over 100 yards.
Bulldog carry number 2, Wesley Chandler.
He picks up 3.
Stop by number 27, Kamani Phipps. And number 5, Jay Fessler.
Bags will bring the play back to the huddle.
3 on the play will be 2nd and 7, ball at the Lynn Classical 41.
So 2nd and 7. 2 wideouts to the near side, 1 to the far side. Chandler again, straight ahead with a head of steam. He's got a first down and a lot more, and he gets pushed forward to the 25. 16 yards and a first down.
Big run up the middle for number 2.
He's got 19 yards and 2 carries.
By number 5, Jay Fessler. And number 50.
It's a tough average to keep through the entire game.
1st and 10, Lynn English.
2 wideouts to the far side, 1 to the near side. They got a wing to the near side. Motion now coming. Mags with the keep. They grab his shirt and hold on as he gets inside the 25. We got a flag coming in. We can't run a play without a yellow handkerchief.
Jesse Mags up the middle. Stop by number 54, Yamed Soto.
They give him a yard to the 24. I don't know if they're calling a horse collar tackle or a face mask or face mask against Classical.
Flag is a personal foul, face mask penalty on Lynn.
Oh, one good turn deserves another. Classical got a little bit of a breather with a 15-yard penalty. And now English will get it back. And they put it at the 12.
After the penalties walked off, it will be 1st and 10. Lynn English ball at the Lynn Classical 13-yard line.
That's half the distance. They fill the backfield now. Trying to bounce it to the outside. That looked like it weren't really prepared either. Chandler with the carry. Gets it back to the 12 for no gain. That was a little bit of a surprise with the snap there as well.
Number 27, Kamani Phipps. No gain on the play. It will be 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 for the Dogs. Trying to answer Classical's touchdown. They would double the wideouts to either side. To give it to Chandler, he sidesteps a couple and gets to the 10.
Chandler up the middle.
So he'll pick up a couple.
Number 75, Nick Tinkham. Number 50, Yoel Sosa.
So it'll be 3rd and 8.
Gain of 2 on the play. Will be 3rd and 8. Ball at the Lynn Classical 11.
So the ball at the 10. Mags over the middle. Caught. That's Shea Palmer. He's an outstanding receiver. He just broke to the middle of the field, made the catch. Should be enough for a first down.
Jesse Mags pass complete over the middle to number 10, Shea Palmer. Stopped on the play by number 5, Jay Fessler.
We have a Classical player down. They'll put the ball at the 2 or 3 yard line. The English will have it first and goal. When we return, after they take a look, let's hope this young man's going to be okay. Don't want to ruin Thanksgiving dinner in the last game of the season. The players will go to the sideline. This will give me a chance to mention the seniors on both teams. For Lynn English, Wesley Chandler, Judens Prosper, Josh McDonald, Marion Cano, Shea Palmer, Jesse Maggs, Deshaun Anderson, Tyler Desir Kearns, Alex Cilia, Kevin Pena, Damon Mitchum, Nolan Mulcahy, Kylie Bursey, Greg Gomez, Tommy M. As they're helping the classical player off, we hope he's going to be okay. And if I'm looking at the number correctly, that may be Brian Vaughn, the quarterback. He's trying to walk it off. Hopefully he'll be okay. And it is. It's Brian Vaughn. What a loss that would be. First and goal from the 3.
Flag is an offside on the Rams.
Glasgow went offside.
Penalty results in a first down. It will be first and goal. Bulldogs ball at the Rams 2.
They put it down at the 1. Maggs takes the snap. And it's going to be motion against English. They're going to get 5 yards back.
Flag is a false start on the Bulldogs.
They'll move it back to the 6. So back and forth we go.
After the 5-yard penalty,
Maggs came up to try and go quickly, and there was a little bit of movement before they snapped the ball. So they push it back. So first and goal from the 6. And now we got another flag. We're going to be setting some kind of records for flags in the first period. This one's going to be against Classical.
flag is too many men on the field for the Rams.
They had 12 men half the distance. They mark it to the 3. Maggs with the keep. Gets down to about the 1.
Quarterback Jesse Maggs up the middle for a few yards. Stopped by number 26, Nick Costa.
We had more flags than yards in the first period, and we reached the end of the first period.
Concession stands located on each side of the field are open and readily available.
English only has 31 yards of offense, but they're knocking on the door. Penalties, and more penalties. I'm calling the ball at the 1, maybe like 1.5. So we'll start the second period. Classical leading at 8-0. Classical's had it once. English is with their drive. Classical 8 up most of the period. They give it to Chandler. They stand him up. Second, third effort. He gets in the end zone for the touchdown. Good second, third effort by Chandler. They stood him up at about the 4. They couldn't wrap him up. He breaks it in.
Touchdown carry, number 2, Wesley Chandler.
So English goes 44 yards in 8 plays. Now they look to tie it up, going for 2. Maggs looking, dumps it underneath. They'll get it. Kevin Pena broke underneath. Maggs found him.
Jesse Maggs to number 22. Kevin Pena is good. And the score with 11:50.
So they match scoring drives, they match touchdowns and conversions, and we're right back where we started. Dead even. And English once again will be kicking off the Classical. So dead even at 8. And again, a nice crowd. People still coming in. People scattered all over, both sides. Back in the end zone, behind the fence. Nice to see them supporting the young men and the game. We started this with the Powder Puff game. The girls brought it back. They didn't play last year. They brought it back this year. And they brought it back, and it's kicked off Thanksgiving. And this is the week that these young men and women now start to realize their high school career is coming to an end. And they'll have to start thinking about where they're going to go, what they're going to do. We mentioned all the English seniors. We'll get to the Classical seniors as well. Shea Palmer will kick it off. The ground ball bouncing around. Picked up at the 23-yard line. Nice return. They found a little hole. And that was Avery.
And the kick was fielded by number 3, Marquise Avery at his 27-yard line.
Well, Classical will have pretty good field position to start their second drive.
Pushed out of bounds by number 1, Edwin Castro.
They're going to put it at the 47.
First and 10 Rams from their own 47.
So a 24-yard return by Avery gets Classical good field position. Castro did it for English. And there's another flag. English, I think, has 12 players on the field.
Too many men on the field.
Everybody wants to play.
After the 5 yards is walked off, it's now first down and 5. Ball at the Lynn English 47.
At the English 48. So it'll be first and 5. Again, we've got to be setting some kind of records here for flags. They dropped the ball. It's not Vaughn now. Vaughn got hurt. He's on the sideline being attended to. Durant is in at quarterback. He dropped the snap. And the ball goes back to the Classical 44.
Loss of 8 on the play.
They lost 8 on the play. So we mentioned that would be a huge loss for the Rams, losing their quarterback.
Ball at the Ram 44.
He's been in for almost every snap. Avery, they push him forward. He gets the yard as they lost. He gets it to English. 46.
Number 3, Marquise Avery on a 10-yard carry.
He picked up 10.
Stopped by number 26, Lionel Rivera.
So he got the 8 they lost plus 2 more.
Will be third and about 3 for the Rams. Ball at the Bulldog 46.
They pile him up.
Number 7, Mohammed Dale on the carry. Stop for a loss by number 14, Tyler Kearns. And number 15, Alex Silla.
Back at the 49. They lost 3. And we're going to get timeout. So they're working on Vaughn on the sideline. And that would be a very huge loss if he can't come back. With the timeout, we're tied at 8. Glasgow got good field position at the 47, but they quickly lost 8. Avery got a 10-yard run to get it back. Now they lose 3 more. They were helped out by a 5-yard penalty against English with too many men on the field. So they need 6 here on 4th down, but they're going to kick it away. Palmer gets out of the way, jumps over it. It's going to die at the 10-yard line. That's 36-yard punt, no return, pins English down at their 10-yard line. So Glasgow is stopped for the first time.
The punt by number 4, Kyle Durant is down at the Bulldog 10-yard line.
So English will have it for the second time, first time in the second period. But they're stuck at their 10-yard line. So they have to be careful, hold on to the football. 2 wideouts to the far side, 1 to the near side. They fill the backfield now with Mags. Mags looking to throw over the middle. Screen pass. Nice job to Chandler to the 20-yard line, enough for a first down. So they pick up 10 quick yards. We hadn't seen that play most of the year, but the last couple of games they put that in. Chandler just hangs around and breaks over the middle, gets the little screen pass, and it's been productive for the Bulldogs. The 2 wideouts come to the near side, 1 to the far side. The wing is to the near side. They run it straight ahead. That's Panius. They get a yard to the 21. Second down and 9. We're in the second period. Final game of the season. Thanksgiving Day. 8-8. Over 100 years these two teams have been battling. They run it straight ahead. And they're looking to push him forward for a first down. They're not going to get there. They'll be close. Panius gets to the 29. Picked up 8.
Chandler up the middle for the Bulldogs. Stopped by number 4, Kyle Durant. And number 5, R.J. Fessler.
3rd and a yard.
Will be 3rd and 1 for the Bulldogs. Ball just inside their own 30.
Maggs with the keep will get the first down and a little bit more as he gets near the 35. They'll give him the 35 for 6.
Quarterback Jesse Maggs on the carry. Way good for a Bulldog first down. Stop on the play.
Again, the 2 wideouts come to the near side, 1 to the far side.
Ball at the 35.
Now they got 2 guys going in motion. I'm surprised they didn't throw the flag. Pena's trying to turn the corner. Is going to get wrapped up and knocked down. That's Avery doing it on both sides of the football. They tried to get him around the corner. They couldn't. There's a flag at the end of the play. It's going to be against Classical.
Lost by number 3, Marquise Avery. Flag on the play.
They lost 9 on the play.
Rams.
But now wipe that play out. Hey, guess what? We have another yellow flag all the way out to midfield. They mark it off from the line of scrimmage.
The penalties assessed. It will be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs.
So they look like English is in trouble, losing 9 yards, but wipe that play out. And 15 yards gives English a first down at midfield. No change, still 2 wideouts to the near side, 1 to the far side. Maggs looking to throw. Gets it out, caught by Palmer. He's the primary receiver for Maggs. They've hooked up quite a bit this year.
Complete to number 10, Shea Palmer.
To the Classical 39. 11 yards and a first down.
Play good for 11 yards and a Bulldog.
They started this back at their 10.
Ball at the Lynn Classical 39.
English going quickly. And there's another flag. They ran into the 31.
On the carry. Stopped by number 55, Jonathan Martinez. There is a
Looks like it's holding against English. Holding against English.
flag is a hold on the Bulldogs.
Back to the 48. Turns out to be from the point of foul, turns out to be a 9-yard penalty.
48.
The 2 wideouts go to the far side. I don't think I've ever seen a game with this many flags, and we're halfway through the second period. Maggs looking to throw. Wide open over the middle. All the way down to the 15-yard line.
And Jesse Maggs himself went through. Number 2, Wes Chandler for a
Chandler went down and made the catch. He was wide open. Nobody within 15 yards of him.
Joel Sosa.
They push him back. They lose a yard back to the 17.
That previous play was a 31-yard pass play. Jesse Maggs to Wes Chandler.
Second and 11 from the 17-yard line.
And 11 now for the Bulldogs.
Maggs looking to throw. In trouble. Taking off and running with it. He gets it inside the 15.
Jesse Maggs around the left end for the Bulldogs.
They put it at the 15.
Down by number number 26, Nick Costa.
So he picked up 2. It'll be 3rd down and 9. Three wideouts to the near side, 1 to the far side.
7 for the Bulldogs, ball at the Ram 15-yard line.
Classical jumped, another flag. They move it down to the 10. So now it's 3rd and 4. That changes it up a little bit. You might have to throw on 3rd and 9 now. You can run for a couple of plays. Mags will bring the play back to the huddle.
3rd and 3, ball at the Lynn Classical 10.
Three wideouts to the near side. Everybody in motion. Over the middle. Incomplete.
Jesse Max pass intended for number 10, Shea Palmer. Incomplete.
Palmer broke to the middle of the field. They tried to hit him and missed.
It will be 4th down for the Bulldogs.
4th down and 4. They're trying to polish off a 90-yard drive. Classical trying to shut them down. And Classical needs one more big defensive play. English needs 4 to keep the drive alive. 3 wideouts to the near side, 1 to the far side. Now, and Mags was signaling Castro wanted him to go to the far side. The little indecision, so they call a timeout.
We'd like to congratulate the Lynn English cheerleaders for winning the GBL title. Have a round of applause for the cheerleaders.
They just congratulated the English cheerleaders. They won the GBL cheering contest, tournament, if you will. Congratulations to the English cheerleaders. So Classical ate up a lot of the first period. English got it back. They both scored. They both got conversions. They tied it. Classical went very quickly out on their possession in the second period. Now English has eaten up most of this period. Twelve plays this will be for English in this period. Classical only ran 3 here in the second period. But penalties have been huge as well. So a big play for both teams. Classical has to stop him. English needs 4. Motion now to the far side. Mags rolling. Lobs it down. Almost picked off. Mags got hit as he was throwing it. And it almost got picked off by Bruno. He would have had clear sailing. So they go all the way from their 10 to the Classical 10. They got 80 of the 90 yards, helped out by a few penalties. But they come up short, and Classical will survive.
Lynn Classical takes over on downs. It will be now 1st and 10, Rams ball at their own 10.
So from the 10, Classical will get the football. Avery lost the ball on the handoff. It would mix up between him and the quarterback. And he almost gave it away.
Lost up a few on the play.
Back to the 12.
That immediately needs to be removed or it will be towed. License plate 3,
They lose 2 on the play. Durant is still in at quarterback. I don't see Vaughn on the bench down in front of me. As I mentioned before, that's a huge loss. Durant is a wide receiver. They give it to Avery off the right side. He gets pushed out of bounds. He get out. Looks like they're putting it at the 14-yard line. Avery again, he gets pushed forward for a first down and a lot more.
Tough run up the middle for number 3, Marquise Avery. Play good for Lynn Glasgow, first down. It will be 1st and 10.
They put it at the 28. He picked up 14 yards. He's approaching 100 yards rushing. They got about a yard. That's Avery again.
Avery on the carry.
Second down and 9. As we're winding down, we're under 2 minutes left in this first half. Deadlocked at 8. Glasgow just came up with a big stop. Eagles turning it over at the 10-yard line. Now, big shift at the line, and when they do that, Brian Vaughan didn't like it. He calls a timeout.
Timeout Rams.
1:26 showing on the scoreboard clock. Both teams have moved the football. They both have a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. English went from their 10 to the Classical 10 and then turned it over. Now they have it 2nd and 9 at the 29. Avery has rushed for 82 yards. Durant with the keep. Might have got a yard.
Number 4, Kyle Durant on the carry. Stopped by number 7, Ernie Panius. Flag on the play.
Holding against Classical. Here we go again.
The hold on Lynn Glasgow.
So they give him a yard and they push it back 10. Glasgow might just want to run the clock out here. English will get the ball to start the second half, but you're back now in 2nd down and a whole bunch. Avery gets it to about the 24. And we'll be under a minute.
Number 3, Marquise Avery on the carry.
They gave him a 25 for 5. They have If they run the ball here, this should be the last play of the first half. And we got another flag. It took too much time. I'm not going to bother counting up all the penalty yards, but it's got to be some kind of a record. This is Thanksgiving. This is not Flag Day. Although you wouldn't know the way the yellow flags are being thrown around out there. Durant with the keep gets stacked up. He lost yardage. He lost 5 on the play, and that was the last play. So Classical took the opening drive, 65 yards in 12 plays, and scored. English takes their drive, skips into the second period, 44 yards in 8 plays. Both get the conversions, and we started the game dead even. We finished the first half dead even. It's Lynn English 8, Classical 8 at halftime.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Lynn Classical Ram cheerleaders. the Lynn Public School Marching Band for your halftime entertainment.
Welcome back to Manning Field as we've got a half to decide who has a happy Thanksgiving meal. We're dead even at 8, and Classical has got really hit hard. The quarterback, Brian Vaughn, will be out the rest of the game. It appears as though he may have broken the arm or the hand, or because they had him in an air cast, I was told. And that's a humongous loss. The last thing Cal Duran thought when he got up this morning to come to get ready to go to the football game was he was going to be the quarterback. He's a wide receiver. He'll get his foot into it, and we're underway. Fielded at the 33-yard line by Shea Palmer. And he gets into Classical territory. So Palmer gives English pretty good field position.
34-yard line. Taking up to the Rams 47 where he was stopped by number 87. Amadou Ba.
A 19-yard return. Gets English in Classical territory at the 47. They sent 2 wideouts to the far side, 1 to the near side. The wing is to the far side. Palmer comes in motion, the little shuffle pass, and he gets inside the 45 to the 44. So that's a forward pass.
Number 10, Shea Palmer around the left end for the Bulldogs. Stopped by number 50, Yoel Sosa. And number 54, Iman Soro.
They picked up 3.
It will be 2nd and 7 ball at the Lynn Classical 44.
Wes Chandler takes it to the 42 for 2 more.
Number 2, Wes Chandler on the carry. Stopped by number 50, Yoel Sosa. Number 26, Nick Costa. Will be 3rd and 4 ball at the Ram 42.
3rd and 5 from the 42. Maggs looking to the sideline, and they changed the play. They better hurry up. Flag on the play. They took too much time. Here we go again with the flags. So they're back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 10. Maggs looking to throw. Tip broken up. Good defense.
Jesse Maggs passing, sending with number 10, Shea Palmer, broken up by number 5, R.J. Fessler.
R.J. Fessler made the big defensive play.
For the Bulldogs.
It'll bring up a 4th down, and let's see what Coach Mackenzie Charles opts to do. Looks like he's going to go. They're going to go. They said wideouts double up on either side. So Mackenzie Charles rolling the dice. They let it fly deep. Caught. They're calling it a catch. I thought he was out of bounds. It looked like he was out of bounds.
And Jesse Maggs' pass is complete to number 4, Josh McDonald.
McDonald made a tremendous catch.
Ball taken down to the Ram 23 where it will be first.
Down to the 23-yard line.
Jesse Maggs to Josh McDonald.
24 yards and a 1st down. Classical takes a timeout. Brian Vaughn wishes there were TV replay because it looked like he went up in the air, caught it, and came fully out of bounds. But the official said he got a foot in, not like the pros. You don't have to get both feet in. So a tremendous play by Josh McDonald. While we have the timeout, I'll run quickly. I did the seniors for English. I'll do it for classical. Kyle Durant, R.J. Fessler, Darren Omarigi, Derek Omarigi, Angel Valentine, Javen Soto, Victor Robels, Nick Tinkham, Mamadou Ba, who used to be one of my camera people. He still does when he's not playing football. Josiah Sevilla. So we've mentioned all the seniors. We wish all the seniors great luck and good fortune in whatever they do after they get out of the high schools. Mags looking to the sideline, too far and out of play.
Pass intended for number 10, Shea Palmer, incomplete.
Looking for Palmer again. But McDonald made that great catch going high in the air. They might want to put him on the basketball team as a rebounder. Again, a terrific crowd here for this one. Packed on the other side. Here back in the end zone behind the fence. Nice to see. Over the middle, picked off at the 15-yard line. Looking for a block. Bruno. Great job by Emil Bruno. Outstanding play. He almost took it to the house.
Once again, the last time for the 50-50 raffle, the winning number 220-2394. 220-2394. You can
45 yards on the return. And English threatening. Classical now turns around, has the ball at the 40-yard line. Avery ahead.
Marquise Avery up the gut for the Rams. Brought down by number 4, Josh McDonald.
He picks up 4. He's 9 yards away from 100 yards.
The play will be 2nd and 6, ball at the Lynn English 36.
Avery again. He'll get a first down inside the 30 and a lot more. He breaks a couple of tackles. Boy, he ran hard. Off the right side, broke it, went back to the left side.
Once again, Marquise Avery with some tough running for the Rams.
Gets it down to the 18-yard line. He picked up 18. He's over 100 yards rushing.
Ball at the Bulldog 19.
He has the touchdown and the conversion. So Classical turning the tables. And they're just running. Here we come. Try and stop us. And they give it to Avery again. And another big hole. Picks up 5 or 6 more. They put it at the 13.
Once again, Marquise Avery up the middle.
2nd down and 5.
Stopped by number 26.
The offensive line doing a job for Classical. Pushing English off the ball, giving Avery a lot of running room, and then he's just powering away, breaking tackles, sliding away, sliding off. Ryan Vaughn put him in the backfield, and boy, it's paying off. They give it to him again. He gets it to the 10.
Avery on the carry. Brought down by number 10, Shea Palmer.
3rd and a couple. The ball just nestled inches inside the 10-yard line.
Will be 3rd and 1 for the Rams. Ball at the Bulldogs 10.
The workhorse, they give it to him again. Inside the 5, it'll be 1st and goal. They put it at the 4.
Heavy dose of Marquise Avery for the Rams. Brought down by number 4, Josh McDonald, and number 14, Tyler Kearns.
It's 5 plays, 5 rushes by Avery. They haven't been able to stop him.
1st and goal, ball at the Bulldog 4.
They're doing this without their quarterback. They give it to Avery. Banging. They give him to the 1.
Marquise Avery down to the 1.
This all started with a great 45 return with the interception by Emil Bruno, who's only a freshman, by the way. They get the play from Ryan Vaughn. What do you think the play will be? Do you think they might give the ball to Avery? They're starting off now as they did before. Avery, they had him. He breaks tackles. He walks in standing up. Glasgow, as a team, went over 100 yards rushing on this drive, and they do it like they did starting the game with the drive. They go 40 yards, 7 plays, all 7 carries by Marquise Avery. That great return of the interception by Bruno got them started, and they grab a 14-8 lead. They'll look for 2. Durant looking to throw. He's in trouble. He gets tripped and knocked down. Hit from behind by Lionel Rivera.
And the 2-point conversion play is no good. The score with 4:51 to go in the 3rd quarter is Lynn Glasgow 14, Lynn English 8.
Well, Glasgow will kick it off. All of a sudden, the Bulldogs, they're seeing their 5-game win streak in jeopardy. They're losing 14-8. And we got just under 5 minutes left in this 3rd period. Putting Marcus Avery in the backfield has certainly paid off for the Rams. Carried 7 times for their first touchdown. And he carries 7 times, all 7, for their second touchdown. He's had 20 carries in the game. Almost everything else has been minus for Glasgow running the football. Durant will kick it off. Durant's done a nice job filling in for Vaughn, who got hurt and is gone for the game. That looked as though it would be a major factor. They drive it to the 21-yard line. Castro cutting it up. There's a flag coming in. And that flag is coming from miles away. It's going to be against English. That was way behind the play. Two players get involved, banging and whacking. And it's going to cost English some yardage.
Kick was fielded by number 1, Edward Castro, at his 20-yard line.
He got it to the 39, but they're not going to be anywhere near that.
Number 7, Mohammed Dale, and number 5, R.J. Fessler, flag on the flag on the Bulldogs.
The referee threw that flag about 20 yards at 10 feet in the air, and they move it all the way back to the 23. And that was nowhere near the play. They were off 30 yards away from where the ball was, all by themselves, doing battle. They run Chandler straight ahead for 3.
Chandler on the carry for the Bulldogs.
Chandler only has 26 rushing yards. He's usually up around 100, if not more. But Classical's kept the ball away from English a lot.
Number 25,
Palmer goes in motion. Baggs dumps it out to Palmer. And he's going to get wrapped up. Kamani Phipps paid the first hit. They lose 3. Well, they gain 3, they lose 3. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Three wideouts to the near side, 1 to the far side. Baggs. McDonald makes the catch in the middle. He's loose. He's got a first down and a little bit more. He set up to the near side, just cut straight to the middle. And he'll move the chains.
Josh McDonald over the middle. It was brought down by number 5, R.J.
They picked up 13 and a first down.
For a Bulldog first down. First and 10, Lynn English, ball at their own 36.
Double wideouts on either side. Coming to the near side, Chandler, we got a flag on the play. It's coming back.
Wes Chandler around the left end for the Bulldogs.
Chandler got to the 41 for 5, but it's coming back.
Flag is on Lynn English.
They push English back to the 23. To the 28. Max lets it fly. And we got another flag coming in. It's going to be interference. They knock Castro down.
Back pass intended for number 1, Edwin Castro. Incomplete defense provided by Kyle Durant. There is a flag on the play.
Yet another flag. Both officials threw flags. I believe it's from the line of scrimmage, not from not at the point of foul. Although they're moving it now, they mark it off to the 43, so it's a 15-yard penalty. So first and short. They need about 3, and now Classical jumps, and they're gonna give English a first down. They had him pinned deep.
Flag is offside, playing Classical.
They had him back at the 28.
Penalty results in a first down for the Bulldogs. It will be first and 10, ball at their own 48.
They had 3rd and long, and now it's first and 10 at the English 48. We're back to flag day here at Manning Field. Just over 2 minutes left in this third period. Classical leading 14-8. Mags rolling, looking to throw. Lets it fly deep, too far. Looking for McDonald. It'll be second and 10.
Back pass intended for number 4, Josh McDonald, incomplete.
Classical's had they're 4 and 6 coming in, but it's a little bit deceiving. They lost a few tough games. The two teams that they lost that easily beat them are two of the best teams in the state, Everett and Marblehead. Marblehead undefeated, going to the Super Bowl. Everett was undefeated. They lost those games by a big margin, but other games they were in, a couple they could have won. Paney is trying to turn the corner, not going to get there. They'll lose yardage. And it's going to bring up another big third down play. They lose 2.
Who's tackled for a loss by number 27, Kamani Phipps, and number 5, R.J. Fessler.
3rd and 12.
Loss of 2 on the play. It will be 3rd and 12, ball now at the Bulldog 46.
Three wideouts, 2 to the near side. English needs a big play. They need 12. And English just jumped. They're going to need 17.
Flag is a false start on Lynn English.
I sound like a broken record, but more flags than yards. Every time we take a step forward, we take 2 steps back.
Penalties assessed. It will be 3rd and 17, ball now at the Bulldog 41.
Now, a little further to go now. They need 17. Under a minute and counting in this third period. Bags taking off and run with it. They push him forward, but no one. He didn't get back to the original line of scrimmage. He picked up 4.
Jesse Maggs on the quarterback keeper. Stalled by number 3.
We're going to get our first punt of the day.
75, Nick Pinkham. It will be 4th and 13 for the Bulldogs, ball at their own.
Palmer will kick it away. Omar Iji goes back deep.
Aaron Omarigi back deep for the Rams.
So they made the first down, and then they get helped out by a couple of classical penalties.
And that is the end of the third
But
quarter.
they come up short as the period ends.
Classical 14, Lynn English.
So Classical trying to end English's 5-game win streak. English only has 53 yards rushing, 94 yards passing. Classical has completed 1 pass for 2 yards, the first pass of the game. English is going to have to go to work. 12 minutes left in this intercity battle and the last football game of the season. And it starts out with the English punt. High snap, but it's handled. The kick is away. Takes a bit of an English bounce. It's down to the 21-yard line. And we'll get back to the Marquise Avery show. Coach Brian Vaughn can take an awful lot of accolades for moving him from wide out to running back. And he's only a sophomore, along with Brian Vaughn. Thank God Brian Vaughn, the quarterback who got knocked out of this game, is not a senior. He's only a sophomore. That's two big parts coming back. Can we guess who's going to get the football? Avery straight ahead, tucks his head, gets across the 25, picks up 5 more. Goes over 130 yards. 2nd and 5. Oscar will look to run the ball, run the clock, shorten the game, leading 14-8. They pile him up this time. He's going to lose yardage. They put it back at the net at the 24. He lost 2. So a big play for Classical and English. English looking to get the ball back. 3rd and 7. Durant with the keep. Nothing doing there. Back to the line of scrimmage for no gain. And Classical will have to kick it away.
Durant on the carry. Brought down by number 14, Tyler Kearns, and number 26, Lionel Rivera. It will be 4th and 7 for the Rams.
St. Palmer will go back deep. Standing at his own 45-yard line, so the snap goes over the head of Durant. He has to track it down. He gets the kick away. It takes a good Classical bounce. Durant did a great job there. Goes out at the 42-yard line. So Classical comes out of that in pretty good shape, all things considered. That looked like it might go over his head back to the end zone. He went back and got it. Great job by Kyle Durant getting the kick off. He's done an outstanding job filling in at quarterback. Something I mentioned before, that never in his lifetime did he think, waking up this morning, I'm going to be the quarterback for the better part of the game. English goes to double wing. They give it to Chandler. He gets a couple.
Number 2, West Chandler on the carry. Brought down by number 3, Marquise Avery, and
Second and 8. Avery doing it defensively as well. They go back to that double wing. Misdirection to Palmer. He gets a couple. He'll get 3. English player down. So a huge play, and I'm guessing that this is 4 down territory for Mackenzie Charles. We got just under 9 minutes left in the game. Classical leading at 14-8. English at their own 47-yard line, but it's 3rd and 5. So I don't want to take the coaching reins away from Mackenzie Charles, but it would be difficult to punt here the way Classical has been running time off the clock. The prospective teams go to their bench areas to let the trainers work on the player that's down. Let's hope he's going to be all right. We already had a very important cog for Classical, their quarterback, knocked out of the game, but we mentioned Kyle Duran has filled in exceptionally well. Classical's thrown the ball one time. They had a 2-yard pass on the first play of the game. It's Kevin Pena who's down. He's sitting up now, so let's hope he's going to be okay. And we got a couple players coming out to help if they have to help him off the field. He's up. Looks like the left leg. And he's one of those seniors. They're carrying him off now. Let's hope he's going to be okay. So, English's 5-game win streak in jeopardy. As Classical has taken it to them. But Marquise Avery, 22 carries in the game. And they've eaten up a lot of the clock, keeping it away from English. Now they need 5. And they're going to need more than that. They gave it to Panius. He loses back to the 46. They lost a yard.
Carry number 7, Ernie Panius.
It's going to be 4th and 6, and I don't think they have a choice. With 8 minutes and counting left, I think they have to go. Banks is bringing the play back. Kind of surprising, that last play.
Fourth and 6, ball at the Bulldog 46.
Maggs rolling, looking, lets it fly. Great catch by Palmer for a first down. He reached up over his head and made a tremendous catch. They get the first down. They needed 6, they got 8. Panius straight ahead. Staying on his feet, he breaks the tackle, he's gone. They had him, they wrapped him up, he just squeezed through and runs for a touchdown.
Number 7, Ernie Panius takes it 46 yards on a tough run for a Bulldog touchdown.
46 yards for the touchdown. He got 2 in the last game against Newburyport, and he gets the one that ties it up. He squeezed in, looked like he was going to get a couple, then it looked like he might get a few more, and all of a sudden he just broke loose and went 46 yards. Maggs wound up with it. And he doesn't get in. I don't think that was the play, but he wound up with it.
Conversion is no good. The score with 7:15 to go in the game. It's all tied up. Glasgow 14, English 14.
Manius, all of a sudden, just twisting and squeezing. And Mr. Curtis, a former outstanding player at Lynn English, came up to say hello to me before the game. He said to me, my relative, young Mr. Panius, is playing. He wanted to make sure they announced his name correctly. But he came up to say hi, and I appreciated that. And now he's celebrating because his relative has just run 46 yards to tie the game up for the Bulldogs. "58 yards in 5 plays. 50 of them on the ground, 46 by Panius. Puts English over 100 yards rushing and over 100 yards passing. They're virtually even, 103 rushing, 102 passing. And Palmer will kick it off. So the English fans who are sitting on their hands a little bit are now had something to cheer about, got excited. Ground ball, fielded at the 24-yard line. And they knock him down just about the 30, maybe the 31. That was Bruno with the return.
Kick was fielded by number 6, Darren Omarigi at his 25-yard line, taken to about the 31, where he was stopped.
So from the 31, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams, who now find themselves in a 14-14 game.
Sean Anderson, along with Matt Peters.
So English gets a little bit of momentum
Will be
with
first
that
and 10 Rams.
Panius touchdown.
31.
That's just, as I mentioned, that's his 3rd in 2 games. And looks like English going to take a timeout. So that 5-game win streak was certainly in jeopardy for a long time. Now we're going to try and settle this one in the last 7 minutes and 8 seconds. We mentioned this is a game that everybody remembers. You look back and say, remember this? I remember the first play-by-play game I ever did. Jimmy Smith for Lynn English kicked a field goal with no time left to win the game for the Bulldogs on Thanksgiving Day. A couple of years ago, we had English score with very little time left, under a minute left, seconds left, to take the lead. Fans went wild. They come out on the out in the field. They kicked off, and Glasgow ran the kick back for a touchdown. The young man wound up on ESPN. There have been games like that all the way through this series. That's why everybody remembers this game. Super Bowls are great. Thanksgiving is the best. Avery off the right side. Gets a few. That's basically been the Glasgow offense. Give the ball to Avery and see what he can do. He picks up a couple.
Number 3, Marquise Avery on the carry. Stopped by number 15, Alex Sua, and number
2nd and 8. The difference now is Mags can throw the football. Glasgow is using a wide receiver as the quarterback. It would be difficult for them to throw the ball. Avery bounces it straight ahead. Gets to maybe the 37.
Once again, Avery on the carry for the Rams. Brought down by number 4, Josh McDonald.
Big play coming up for both teams here. 3rd down and 4.
It will be 3rd and 4 for the Rams. Ball at their own 37.
At the 37-yard line. 3rd and 4. And it looked like a mix-up. The ball never got to Durant. English saying they have the football. There's a flag on the play. I think it's going to be a false start against Glasgow. Glasgow will lose 5. So it'll be 3rd and 9 now. Something happened with the snap. They dropped the ball. Durant never got the football. English thought they recovered it. Now it'll be 3rd down and 9. We'll be closing in on 5 minutes to play when they snap the ball. So big play for both teams. Avery's going to go out as a wideout. Durant looking to throw. Lobs it up. Somehow Avery made the catch. He does it all. Durant threw a high pop-up to center field. And the center fielder, Marquis Avery, went out and got it. 22 yards and a first down. How did he come down? There were 2 players all over him. He's doing it all. They dropped the snap. Avery's fighting. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. They look like they're going to lose yardage. So Avery's got 158 yards of offense, 136 of them on the ground. That 22-yard catch keeps it alive, and will be under 4 minutes left. Pascal keeping the ball away from English. Avery again goes out as a wide receiver. Can they do it again? Now we got a timeout called by Glasgow. Talk about major miracles. They had 3rd and 9. Durant, who's not a quarterback, he's a wide receiver, filling in for the quarterback Vaughn, who got knocked out of this game. Just threw it high in the air like a little pop fly to the shortstop. And somehow Avery went between 2 defenders and caught it. And if nothing else, Glasgow is shortening the game up, keeping it away from English. English hasn't really been able to put anything really together. Their opening drive, they scored, but they did it with flags all over the place. They didn't really have a long drive. That was Nick Costa with the carry.
Number 25, Matt Carroll up the middle for the Rams. Will be 3rd and 6, ball at the
3rd and 5 from the 41. And we're under 3 minutes left. And again, we have a problem with the snap. Everybody moving. The ball never got to the quarterback. They'll move it back to the 46. It'll be 3rd and 10. The last time they did this, they moved it back to 3rd and 9. Durant threw that pop-up to Avery for a first down. During the normal season, there would be overtime with a tie. I don't know if they do that. Since this is the last game of the season and the tournament's all over, Super Bowls have been decided, they may just end this in a tie if neither team can score in this last 2.5 minutes. 3 wideouts for Classical, 2 to the far side. Durant looking to throw. He's in trouble. He gets hit. He's lucky he held on to the football. He got buried by Alex Silla.
And Durant is sacked for a loss by number 15, Alex Silla.
Classical's going to have to kick it away. English is going to have a shot.
Loss of 8 on the sack by Alex Silla.
Back at the Classical 47. They lost 7 yards.
Down for the Rams. Shea Palmer back at his 22-yard line for the Bulldogs.
So English will have the last chance. The kick is away. Palmer calls for the fair catch. He had some room. He could have run the ball. They're going to put it at the 24-yard line, I think.
And Palmer fair catches the ball at the Lynn English 24-yard line where the Bulldogs will start 1st and 10.
So 1:31 showing on the scoreboard clock. English, I think, still has a couple of timeouts. The difference would be if Classical got close, they have Kyle Durant, who's a kicker. He's kicked some extra points. He could have tried a field goal. English, I don't know if Palmer can do that. 3 wideouts. They hand it off to Panius. He's going to get buried in the backfield. He lost 2.
And number 7, Ernie Panius on the carry.
2nd and 12.
54, Yaman Soto.
I'm surprised they didn't throw the ball.
Loss of 2 on the play.
Maggs looking to throw now. Lets it fly way too far for Palmer.
Max pass intended for Shea Palmer, incomplete. Defense provided by
English has to worry about this play because if they don't incomplete pass, if they stop the clock, Classical will get the ball back. Maggs has thrown for 102 yards, but there's also been his percentage not really that good. They go deep to Castro. What a catch! Unbelievable catch. I thought that was way over his head. He reached back and got it. 37 yards. 37 yards and a first down.
36-yard pass play. Jesse Maggs to number 1, Edward Castro.
37 yards. What a tremendous catch by Edwin Castro, who's a freshman. He made the catch just off his fingertips. He reached as far as he could and just squeezed it home. It looked like it was way overthrown. He caught up with it and just stuck his fingertips out and grabbed it. So English has a pulse. Got a little bit stronger with that play. 51 seconds showing on the clock. I don't know. They didn't signal that was their last time out. So they have at least one more. Three wideouts to the far side, 1 to the near side. Bags looking. Throws it up. Threw it long and out of play. Classical put good pressure on him.
Pass intended, bit of a 10-shape bomber, incomplete. Mohammed Dale on coverage.
Matt Carrillo was right in Mags' face. It'll be second down and 10 from the 41.
Second and 10, ball at the Lynn Classical 41.
Looking at a lot of the former, you can tell the former Classical players here wearing their jackets. The same thing on the English side. Very proud of those jackets. Proud of being former players playing in this game. Well, they should be. Palmer and McDonald to the far side. Castro to the near side. Mags in trouble. Classical knocking him down. They sent everybody after Mags.
For a big loss, combined effort number 3, Marquise Avery, along with number 56, Victor Robels, and number 27, Kamani Phipps. Ball now back at
Victor
the
Robels.
1-yard line.
Kamani Phipps. Matt Carrillo. Marquise Avery. Third down and 1.5 times the length of Western Avenue. They lost 18 yards. They need another miracle. They give it to Chandler to run it. Classical, I think, took a timeout.
Number 26, Nick Costa.
He got to the 47 for 6. Chandler has only run for 36 yards. They haven't run the ball that much because Classical has kept the ball away from English. I think that was Classical's last time out. 21 ticks left on the clock. And English has got to kick it away. So unless they go overtime, this is going to be 14-14. Because Classical, their strength is not throwing the football. They bounce it. Palmer lost the football. He gets hit and knocked down, and wait a minute. They bounced it back to him. Classical's going to have a shot.
And the punt was mishandled, and Lynn Classical will have the ball at around the 30-yard line. Ball spotted at the Lynn English 30-yard line, where it will be first and 10, Lynn Classical.
Now it's Classical with the pulse. But only 14 ticks left on the clock. They don't have another timeout. So they're going to have to throw the ball. They're going to have to throw it. If they complete it, it's got to be very quickly to the edge, get out. If they can get close, they can give Durant a shot. Classical's got a receiver way out here that they didn't see. Avery's going to throw the ball. He throws it up, deep, incomplete. They almost snuck one. Here's John Naskey. Came off the bench and stepped just inside the field of play. And he was all by himself for a while English coaching staff up here in the press box was screaming. There's an illegal receiver downfield against Classical, so it's only fitting we should end it with another penalty.
Will now be first and 15, ball on the 35.
They snap it. They get it to Avery. Inside the 25 to the 24. They picked up 11.
Avery on the Rams sidelines. New stopped immediately by number 14, Tyler Kearns. There is a flag on the play.
There's another flag on the play. No time showing on the clock. They haven't indicated the penalty yet. Now the official's going to let us know. Unsportsmanlike. He didn't indicate what team. They put the ball at the 26 for 11 yards. Excuse me, for 9 yards. Classical with 147 yards of offense. English went over 200 yards. $211. Now they got both coaches talking to the officials. We may be going to have overtime here. They're still discussing with Coach Vaughn. The clock ran out. They threw the flag. They indicated unsportsmanlike, but they didn't indicate against who. And I'm not sure what they're doing now. I think we're going to go back to the far end. We're going to have overtime. I wasn't sure whether we would or not. Each team will get it at the 10-yard line with 4 downs. Trying to break this 14-14 tie. They've got the captains at midfield to decide who's going to go on defense first, who's going to get the ball first. I think they fouled up. They got Bruno out there as one of the captains, and on the Classical roster they have Bruno. He's got to be a senior. They got it listed as a freshman. He's got to be a senior. Although I don't know, because 55 is Victor Robels. Excuse me. Well, they had two 55s. That's why I was wondering. It is Robels. Nope, 55 is Jonathan Martinez. He's a sophomore. They got him out there as a captain. So we are going to have overtime. This may be a first for this rivalry. So we'll see who has the ball first. Which end they choose. Brian Vaughn getting the last word in to the officials. They're going to go down to the far right, right where the scoreboard is. So we're deadlocked at 14. 4 periods of football couldn't decide this intercity battle. It appears as though Glasgow will have the football first. They'll put it at the 10. Glasgow will have 4 shots, and then English will have 4 shots. Now they're putting it at the 5. I thought it was at the 10. Any overtimes I've seen have always been at the 10, but they're putting it at the 5. So Glasgow will go first, and can you guess whether Avery will get the football or not? He's not going to be a wide out here. He gets hit and loses yardage. Back to the 7. He lost 2.
Marquise Avery on the carry. He was stopped for a short loss by number 14, Tyler Kearns, and number 26, Lionel Rivera.
Desert Kearns and Rivera with the hit.
Will be second and goal from about the 7.
Second and goal from the 7. Avery again. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage.
Once again, Marquise Avery. He was stopped by number 53, Nolan Mulcahy, and number 10, Shea Palmer.
Okay, and Palmer combined. They put the ball at the 6. He picked up a yard. Third and goal. That's been the offense for Glasgow most of the time. Have the front line block and let Avery find a hole. Durant with the keep, trying to turn the corner. Looked like he had some room, but then Palmer and Castro knock him out at the 5.
Around the right end for the Rams. Stopped by number 1, Edward Castro, and number 10, Shea Palmer.
So the biggest play of the day for the Rams, and also for English, but most so for Glasgow. 4th down and goal from the 5. They're talking to Mackenzie Charles for some reason. But they've kept Glasgow. There was a penalty. That's why they're talking to Mackenzie Charles. There was a penalty against Glasgow for holding. I'm kind of surprised they didn't take it. I can't believe they didn't take the penalty. It would have been 10 yards. Glasgow with a backup quarterback who's been doing an outstanding job. But it's going to be 4th down and 5. I didn't see the flag. I should have. There's been 100 of them during the game. Huge play. Wideouts right and left. And now Glasgow's going to take a timeout to talk about it.
Timeout, Wayne Glasgow.
They sent Omarigi and Avery to the far side. They had Dale in the backfield with Durant. Coach Brian Vaughan's son, the quarterback, knocked out of the game very early in the second period. Didn't play the second half. Durant, a wide receiver, had to go in and be the quarterback for this game. And he did a good job. So up until now, the biggest play of the game. 4th and goal from the 5. We're in overtime. Double wideouts to either side. Avery is now to the near side. Durant looking, lets it fly for the end zone. Tipped and knocked away. He almost caught it. Omar Iji almost came up with a great catch.
And Durant's pass intended for number 6, Darren Omarigi, is incomplete. Lynn English takes over on downs and will be first and goal.
English with a chance to win it. Who would have thunk it? And now I'm completely confused now. They put the ball at the 10. So I didn't realize there was a penalty against English that put the ball. I was wondering why they put the ball at the 5 for Classical. There was a penalty that I didn't notice, that they just put the ball down at the 5 and didn't make any motion up here in the press box. So now they put the ball at the 10, not the 5. Little misdirection and another direction. They throw the ball to Maggs. And he's in for the touchdown, but we got a flag. It's coming back, I think. They had a double reverse with a pass to Maggs. He took it in, and it's coming back. So English fans going wild, the team's going wild, Classical lamenting, and all of a sudden, now it's the other way around, because it's going to be brought back to the 15. So confusion all over the place. Classical got the ball at the 5 because there was a penalty, and I don't know where the penalty had to come. I don't know where that came from, because all they did was stop the game, go to midfield, flip the coin, and then went down and put the ball at the 5-yard line. So I don't know where that penalty came from, but it put the ball at the 5, and then they brought it back to where they normally go from the 10. English scores, looks like they win, and now they take it away. So from the 15, 1st and goal. Maggs with the keep, running straight ahead. Gets back to the 10. They push him forward, maybe to the 7 or 8.
Quarterback Jesse Maggs on the carry.
They put it at the 7. He picked up 8 yards.
Carry for the quarterback Jesse Maggs. It will be second and goal.
Second and goal from the 7. They won't have to worry about whether they go for 1 or 2, because if they score, the game is over. Classical's trying to stay alive and shut them down. They give it to Panius, staying on his feet inside the 5. They get it to the 3.
Number 7, Ernie Panius on the carry for the Bulldogs. Brought down by number 8, Emil Bruno. And number 54, Yamon Soto.
Bruno and Soto made the stop. They put the ball at the 3. Now they put Wes Chandler back. I was surprised he wasn't in the backfield. They fill the backfield now. They get Chandler and Panius. They give it to Chandler. They push him forward, not going to get in. Back to the line of scrimmage.
Bulldogs.
4th and goal from the 3.
Nick Tingham and number 27, Kamani Phipps.
We could be looking at double overtime.
The goal for the Bulldogs. Ball at the ram 4.
Mags goes under center. Long count, trying to draw Classical offside. English going to take a timeout to talk about it. He went up under center, went with the long count, trying to draw Classical off. Couldn't do it. So the wheel's turning. Brian Vaughn talking to the crew about defense. Mackenzie Charles talking to the crew about offense. Who would have thunk it? Thanksgiving Day, the last game of the season. We're down to 4th and goal from the 3 in overtime for English, looking to extend their 5-game winning streak. Classical has given them all they could handle, even after they lost their quarterback with Durant filling in, again, doing an outstanding job. Marquise Avery having the game of his life, rushing for 135, catching a pass for 22. So all of this has come down to 4 periods plus overtime has come down to this. 4th down from the 3-yard line. Baggs is going to get wrapped up. He kept it. He doesn't get in. And we get to do it again. I'm not sure what that play was. Chandler is their best running back. They haven't used him a lot in this game. He only has 36 yards rushing. Panius has 57. Maggs was going to keep it himself. And will do it again. It may be Thanksgiving supper. We'll go to double overtime. So Classical gets it done. They shut him down. English had to shut Classical down from the 5-yard line. We still don't know how that happened. And now they flip-flop. English will get the ball first. So they'll go back on offense. So here we go. 1st and goal from the 10. 2 wideouts to the near side, 1 to the far side. Castro goes in motion, gets the little pitch, trying to turn the corner. Not going anywhere. Wrapped up by Carrillo. That's a forward pass, by the way.
Number 1, Edwin Castro on the carry for the Bulldogs. Stopped immediately by number 26.
No gain on the play.
No gain on the play. Will be 2nd and goal. Ball at the Ram 10.
2nd and goal from the 10. Baggs looking to throw. In trouble. Lets it fly. Tipped and knocked away. Fessler with the defense. McDonald was there. Fessler knocked it away. It'll be 3rd and 10. And remember, Classical has Kyle Durant, who has kicked extra points in the past. If they get close and don't score, they could give him a shot. That's if English doesn't score. We're down to 3rd and 10. Glasgow been putting a lot of pressure on Jesse Maggs. They've been coming after him. Not giving a whole lot of time to throw. Looking. Hit from behind. They crunched him from behind. Victor Robels. I just got through saying they're putting a lot of pressure on Maggs. They're sending everybody. Robels come in from behind. Maggs didn't see him coming. He nailed him from behind. And they were lucky the ball went incomplete. So a huge play for the Bulldogs here and a huge play for the Glasgow defense. They have to score. No first downs. Motion to the far side. Over the middle. It got picked off. Omar Easy, I think. Well, Bruno had his second pick. And who would have thunk it? Glasgow will have a shot at winning it. Now the English defense called on. English with 225 yards of offense, 139 passing, as Dale runs it straight ahead for short yardage. But half of those 139 came on 2 long passes. They got 61 of those 139 yards passing on 2 pass plays. They get a yard. Second and goal from the 9. I was wondering if they were going to go to overtime. We're in our second overtime. Looked like they had some room. Avery with the carry.
Stopped by number 53, Nolan Mulcahy.
He got it to the 6.
Gain of a few on the play. There will be 3rd and goal for the Rams.
3rd and goal from the 6. Will they give it to Avery again? Durant with the keep. Down to the 1. The ball's at the 1-yard line. Glasgow 1 yard away from a big win on Thanksgiving Day. It doesn't get any bigger than this. In double overtime, 4th and goal from the 1. If you're English, you have to guess Avery. And there's a flag on the play. They took too much time.
And the flag is a delay of game on the Rams.
Delay of game is going to cost them 5 yards. Have we had enough flags? It's back at the 6, and Durant's going to try a field goal. A 23-yard field goal. He kicked it through. In double overtime. I mentioned that they had a kicker and they might give him a shot. English's 5-game winning streak goes by the boards. They'll finish 5-5. They had a great second half of the season. Glasgow will pick up their 5th win. None any bigger this year than the win over English in double overtime. They both scored on their first possessions. Glasgow went 65 yards in 12 plays. Avery going in from the 1. He rushed the conversion. It was 8-0. English started the drive at their 44, skipped into the second period. Chandler went in from the 1. Maggs to Pena for the conversion. It was tied at 8. That's where it was at halftime. Glasgow came out in the third period. An interception by Bruno, returned it 45 yards to the English 40. 7 carries by Avery, took it to the 1. He brought it in for a touchdown. The rush no good. It was 14-8. English came back and went 58 yards in 5 plays. A big 46-yard run by Ernie Panius. Made it 14-14. The rush was no good. We went into double overtime. English couldn't score. Glasgow couldn't score. English couldn't score the second time. Glasgow got the ball back. Looked like they were in great shape. 4th down and a yard from the 1-yard line to win the game. And they got a delay of game that pushed them back to the 6. Looked like they were going to maybe go into triple overtime. They set it up, and Kyle Durant kicks a 23-yard field goal. Just popped it through the uprights. And Glasgow gets a tremendous win on Thanksgiving Day. All these games, you get these. This is the type of game you get on Thanksgiving year in and year out. I've been to most of them, and this is the way virtually all of them go. A difficult loss for the English Bulldogs. Brian Vaughan, a former English outstanding football player, beats his former team with Kyle Durant, who did an excellent job filling in at quarterback after Brian Vaughan got wiped out. Glasgow did it without their quarterback. And the 23-yard field goal by Kyle Durant snuck through the uprights, and it's going to be a bitter Thanksgiving dinner for the English players, coaches, and fans, but it's going to be exceptionally well for the Glasgow Rams and their fans. And now we finished up this outstanding season with an outstanding game here at Manning Field, and now it's on to basketball and hockey, which will be starting pretty soon. So what can you say about this one? Kyle Durant did an excellent job filling in a quarterback, a wide receiver, did his job, and he did it exceptionally well. And then he winds up kicking a 23-yard field goal to win it for the Rams. Marquise Avery, outstanding, 138 yards rushing and a 22-yard catch for 160 yards of offense. The leading rusher for English was Ernie Panius with 57. And it was Wes Chandler finishing up with 36. Maggs passed for 139. Stats were there for both teams, but the field goal wins it in double overtime. Doesn't get any better than this. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. 17-14, Glasgow over English. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm John Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.